Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun. Here we go for John Ki Jai. Nana Dham Ki Jai, Janapuri Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Adi Dham Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Gangamai Ki Jai, Yamunamai Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, all glories to Shishi Guru, Gaur, Ranga. Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Hey Abhilashi
Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Hey Abhilashi
Hey Kumara Shankalo Kalavan Chapuramo Vipakori Korokare Vrindavanavasi Ore Avilash Vilas Kunjaliyo Vas Nayane Bosada Yugana Parasi Vedana Sakiranu Guru Seva Hadikara Diye Guru Dasi Ina Krishna Se Koye Amorai Shiva Dhatu Vina Prene Sadai Vasi Yami Kami Chapavani Brahmani Kami Cha Tanikani Karashanti Karishma Kalipani Kami Kami Chapavani Brahmani Kami Cha Tanikani Karashanti Karishma Kalipani Yami Kami Chapavani Brahmani Kami Cha Tanikani Karashanti Karishma Kalipani Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Vrindaya Tulasi Devya Priyaya Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradali Satyavrtya Namo Namah.
Vandaya Tosidivya Priyaya Sarascha Vishnu Bhakti Devi Satyate Namo Namaha Vindaya Tosidivya Priyaya Kesavascha Vishnu Bhakti Devi Satyate Namo Namaha Jai.
Speaking about playing musical instruments during the kirtan. But there was a limit to the extravagance. Sometimes when a newcomer picked up the kartals and played them in a beat other than the standard 1, 2, 3, Swamiji would ask one of the boys to correct him, even at the risk of offending the guest. Prabhupada led the chanting and drummed with one hand on a small bongo. Even on this little bongo drum, he played Bengali mridanga rhythms so interesting that a local Congo drummer used to come just to hear. Quote, "The Swamiji gets in some good licks." The Swami's kirtans were a new high, and the boys would glance at each other with widening eyes and shaking heads as they responded to his chanting, comparing it to their previous drug experiences and signaling each other favorably. Quote, "This is great. It's better than LSD. Hey man, I'm really getting high on this." And Prabhupada encouraged their newfound intoxication. As maestro of these kirtans, he was also acting expertly as a guru. Lord Chaitanya had said, quote, "There are no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy name." And Prabhupada brought the chanting to the Lower East Side just that way. Quote, "A kindergarten of a spiritual life," he once called the temple. Here he taught the ABCs of Krishna consciousness, lecturing from Bhagavad Gita and leading the group chanting of Hare Krishna. Sometimes, after the final kirtan, he would invite those who were interested to join him for further talks in his apartment. In the back room of his apartment, Prabhupada was usually alone, especially in the early morning hours, 2, 3, and 4 a.m., when almost no one else was awake. In these early hours, his room was silent, and he worked alone in the intimacy of his relationship with Krishna. He would sit on the floor behind his suitcase desk, worshipping Krishna by typing the translations and purports of his Srimad Bhagavatam. But this same back room was also used for meetings, and anyone who brought himself to knock on the Swami's door could enter and speak with him at any time, face to face. Prabhupada would sit back from his typewriter and give his time to talking, listening, answering questions, sometimes arguing or joking. A visitor might sit alone with him for half an hour before someone else would knock, and Swamiji would invite the newcomer to join them. New guests would come and others would go, but Swamiji stayed and sat and talked. Generally, visits were formal. His guests would ask philosophical questions and he would answer, much the same as after a lecture in the storefront. But occasionally, some of the boys who were becoming serious followers would monopolize his time, especially on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday nights when there was no evening lecture in the temple. Often they would ask him personal questions. What was it like when he first came to New York? What about India? Did he have followers there? Were his family members devotees of Krishna? What was his spiritual master like? And then Prabhupada would talk in a different way, quieter, more intimate, and humorous. He told how one morning in New York he had first seen snow and thought someone had whitewashed the buildings. He told how he had spoken at several churches in Butler, and when the boys asked what kind of churches they were, he smiled and replied, "I don't know," and they laughed with him. He would reminisce freely about the British control of India and about Indian politics. He told them it was not so much Gandhi as Subhash Chandra Bose who had liberated India. Subhash Chandra Bose had gone outside of India and started the Indian National Army. He entered into an agreement with Hitler that Indian soldiers fighting for British India who surrendered to the Germans could be returned to the Indian National Army to fight against the British. And it was this show of force by Bose more than Gandhi's nonviolence which led to India's independence. He talked of his childhood at the turn of the century when street lamps were gas-lit and carriages and horse-drawn trams were the only vehicles on Calcutta's dusty streets. These talks charmed the boys even more than the transcendental philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and drew them affectionately to him. He told about his father, Gaur Mohan De, a pure Vaishnava. His father had been a cloth merchant, and his family had been intimately related with the aristocratic Muliks of Calcutta. The Muliks had a deity of Krishna, and Prabhupada's father had given him a deity to worship as a child. He used to imitate the worship of the Govinda deity in the Muliks temple. As a boy, he had held his own Ratha Yatra festivals each year, imitating in miniature the gigantic festival at Jagannath Puri, and his father's friends used to joke, quote, "Oh, the Rath Yatra ceremony is going on at your home, and you do not invite us? What is this?" His father would reply, quote, "This is a child's play, that's all." But the neighbor said, "Oh, child's play? You are avoiding us by saying it's for children?" Prabhupada fondly remembered his father, who had never wanted him to be a worldly man, who had given him lessons in Mridanga, and who had prayed to visiting sadhus that one day the boy would grow up to be a devotee of Radharani. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Now let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They're just like desire trees who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Today we will be observing the Varuntini Ekadashi by fasting from grains and beans. Ekadashi Ki Jai.
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Sit properly. Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram. Sit properly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Sit properly. Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Sit properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Ram 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 Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram Ram. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Sit properly. Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Sit properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna.
Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I'm doing a live stream.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Graha, Shri Vasari Gola Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Avadhi Dham Ki Jai, Jagatpuri Dham Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Yamuna Maya Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious to the assembled devotees. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Go. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Gauranga. Lotus feet, our spiritual masters, the only language we can attain pure devotional service. Bow down to his lotus feet with great all merits. In his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, please be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Are you still here? Oh, I was gonna sit over there.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashoda Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prasajana Ranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prasajana Ranjanam Yashodanandana Prasajana Ranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Which text are we on? 22? No, I think that's... No, we read 22. So we're on 23. Okay, text 23. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam
Digam saya payayat apsati.
Honyam Kumbadayalum Saranam Rajema Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam Jigham Sayapayadapi Asatvi
Lepe gatim datri uchitam datonyam. Kamba dayalum sharanam brajimam. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam. Shigham sayapai ayayad apyasapi. Lepe gatim datri uchitam datonyam. Kamba dayalum sharanam brajimam. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam.
Jikang sayapaya tapya sadvi.
Jigham sayaya paya apyasapi.
Lebhe gating da yuchitang tatonyam.
Lepe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam.
Kang badayang rang sharanang rajema.
Kamba dayalum sharanam brajema.
Aho baki yam stanakala kutam.
Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam.
Jigham sayapaya yadapi ashabi.
Jigham sayapaya apyasapi.
Levigatim da trichitam tatonyam.
Lepe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam.
Kamva dayalam sharanam rajema.
Kamba dayalum sharanam brajema.
Aho Bhakiyam Stanakalakutam
Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam.
Yigham Sayapaya Yadapyavashvi
Jigham sayapaya yad apyasatvi.
Levi Gatim Dayatrayuchitam Tato
Lepe gatim datruchitam tatonyam.
Kamba Dayalum Saranam Vajena
Kamba dayalum sadanam brajema.
Aho bakiyang stanakala kutam.
Kiyam stanakala kutam.
Jigham sayapaya apyasadvi.
Jigham sayapaya yad apyasatvi.
Lebhe gating da trichitam gatatonyam.
Lepe gatim datruchitam tatonyam.
Kangva dayalum sharanam vrajema.
Kamba dayalum sadanam brajema. Aho, alas, Baki, the she-demon, Putana, Yam, whom, Stana, of her breast, Kala, deadly, Kutam, poison, Jiham Saya, out of envy, Apayayat, nourished, Api, although, Asadvi, unfaithful, Lebhe, achieved, Gatim, destination, Datri Uchitam, just suitable for the nurse, Tataha, beyond whom, Anyam, other, Come, who else, Ba, certainly, Dayalum, merciful, Shadanam, shelter, Virjema, shall I take. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. Purport. Here's an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord, even to his enemy.
It is said that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, just as one accepts from a stock of poison. In his babyhood, he was administered deadly poison by Putana, a she-demon who tried to kill the wonderful baby. And because she was a demon, it was impossible for her to know that the Supreme Lord, even though playing the part of a baby, was no one less than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His value as the Supreme Lord did not diminish upon becoming a baby to please his devotee Yashoda. The Lord may assume the form of a baby or a shape other than that of a human being, but it doesn't make the slightest difference. He is always the same Supreme. A living creature, however powerful he may become by dint of severe penance, can never become equal to the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putana because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suck her breast. The Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward. That is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be the ultimate shelter? Om Gyanatimurandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, does anybody have any comments or questions? Yes.
I was just wondering why a man is considered noble if he accepts the good qualities, like it said in the purport, of a person of doubtful character, and instead, why isn't he thought of as naive?
Well, that's not the characteristic of a noble man, but that's one characteristic. He says that a noble man accepts the good qualities of a person of doubtful character, meaning he gives the example that one accepts nectar from a stalk of poison. Another example is given that you accept gold from a filthy place. So similarly, you accept good qualities from somebody even of bad character. Not that you're naive to see the bad character and bad qualities they have, but whatever good qualities they have, you accept and you encourage those good qualities. Not that everybody's just a filthy, rotten scoundrel, a demon, a rascal. Everybody has some kind of good qualities. And if we look, we can try to connect those people's good qualities into Krishna's service. And this is exemplified here by Putana. You're familiar with Putana? The she-demon, a witch demon. She's the first demon killed in Krishna's Leela, in Krishna's pastimes. Krishna, he took birth. He appeared in this world. And he, talking about it's going to be like a whole long story. Krishna appeared in this world, and, by his willing, he ended up at the house of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. And Putana, she came to kill him, but she donned this very beautiful body so that when she was walking into the place where Krishna was staying, everybody thought that she must have been a demigod. That like, okay, this person's really great. She's so beautiful. She looks so nice. And she wanted to feed Krishna from her breast, but she put poison on the breast. So just like this point that Prabhupada's pointing out that, this noble man accepts the good qualities of a person, even though they may have a doubtful character, or one accepts nectar from poison, or accepts gold from a filthy place. Similarly, Krishna, he accepts the service from somebody that might not have the purest intentions. So great devotees really relish this pastime, that the fact that Putana got so much mercy even though she was going to kill Krishna. So then what to think of devotees who are actually trying to approach, the proper way, following in the footsteps of those who are, doing the opposite of Putana, really just going to offer their love, their devotion, their life to Krishna. So in the Ishopanishad, Sri Ishopanishad, Srila Prabhupada, he makes the point that the Supreme Lord is both, what's the word, prophylactic and, I always forget the other word. Basically, the point is that whatever comes in contact with Krishna becomes purified. So no matter how we're approaching Krishna, even if we have envy, if we don't really love Krishna, whatever it may be, as long as we keep approaching Krishna, then purification will follow. You know, there's examples of Kamsa, Shishupal. They're always thinking of Krishna. They're very Krishna conscious, but they're not thinking of Krishna in a favorable way. But ultimately, they got the mercy by being killed by the Supreme Lord and attaining liberation. But the point is made that, you know, we can't count on being a great demon and Krishna coming down personally to kill us. So we have to take up the path of devotion that's laid out by the acharyas. And in our neophyte position, our devotional service will most likely be tinged with desires for fruitive results, tinged with some kind of mental speculation, some jnana, tinged with all sorts of desires. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami, he describes how whether one desires everything, one has no desires, or one desires liberation, then one should engage with full force in devotional service. Because whatever we want, even if I want material happiness, where is that happiness coming from? It's coming from the Supreme Lord. It's coming from Krishna. So this is the difference between demons and devotees. The demons try to turn away from Krishna, turn away from the scripture, and try to enjoy on their own separately. Where devotees are turning towards the Lord, and we might have propensities for material enjoyment that aren't eradicated from our heart. So this is what the Vedic philosophy is there, the Vedic culture, to help us elevate ourselves, to come to a point where we can actually realize that God is everything. Everything's coming from God. Why don't I just worship God to be happy rather than, you know, going through all these extra lengths to be in a nice material situation? Now, the other night during the Bhagavad Gita class, we were talking about, well, Krishna was talking about different austerities of the body, austerities of the mind. But in the austerities of the mind, you know, we were talking about to be satisfied. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's many examples of personalities who take up the path of a python, where they just, I was talking about it before, but you know, they just roll around and slither around, and whatever comes their way, then that's what comes. They're not concerned with any kind of extra endeavor. So the reason why you mentioned this is, you know, one path that's promoted in the Vedas. Okay, you have material desires, fine. You do it in this way, and you do these kind of sacrifices, you give charity this way, and you do all these measures, and you'll elevate yourself towards the spiritual reality. But one who has complete understanding of the spiritual reality, seeing that we're spirit and we're not the body, and that our place is not here in the material world, then what do they have to do with the body? What do they have to do with the world around us? They're just completely dependent upon the Lord's mercy. But then such great Vaishnavas can come down from that platform for the behalf of the conditioned souls. Where Srila Prabhupada, he was living in Vrindavan before he came here. He was like 69 years old, 68 years old actually, because he when he was on the Jaladuta, they were celebrating Jamashtami. His appearance days the day after Jamashtami. So most personalities, you know, who are devotional in India or wherever, they want to go to India in those old, or Vrindavan, in these old, like the last stages of their life. So they can get absorbed in Krishna and, you know, leave their body in the holy Dham of Vrindavan. It's said in this by the acharyas, who one of the six Goswamis, that whenever you, if whoever leaves their body in Vrindavan, they go back to Godhead. So Prabhupada was in the most ideal position to leave his body in Vrindavan. But what did he do at that, he would say, fag end of his life? He left Vrindavan and he came halfway around the world to a place that he had no clue about, to a culture he had no clue about. I mean, he had no idea whether they were going to have food that he could eat. And we heard in the Lilamrita that he thought he was going to come and just live on boiled potatoes, because he thought everybody just ate meat and, that's all that there was. And then we heard this morning, he woke up and he looked out the window and he thought that they whitewashed the buildings. He's from India. He's never seen snow before. I mean, in Delhi and these places, it can get quite cold, but it doesn't get below freezing. So here he is, 69 years old in New York City, not knowing the culture, not knowing anybody. It's snowing. He doesn't have proper clothes, but he's doing all this just to, you could say, two reasons. One, fulfill the order of his spiritual master. This is the reason why he took up this mission. But why did his spiritual master want him to take up this mission? He wanted him to liberate the fallen souls, to bring them back to Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada went through this extreme lengths to leave Vrindavan, where everybody's chanting Hare Krishna. There's temples everywhere. You can just get totally absorbed. And now he's traveling around the world preaching. So Srila Prabhupada is merciful. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada, he has this very much potency, just like Krishna, where Krishna, he accepts the devotional service that we render, but he doesn't take the negative side that comes with it. If somebody approached Srila Prabhupada very sincerely, Srila Prabhupada was so apt to take their devotional service and try to connect them in whatever way they can serve Krishna. But if somebody approached in a challenging mood, then Srila Prabhupada was ready to defeat their philosophy, to smash them in one sense, or withhold that mercy. So this is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Yeya tamam prapajyante tams tataiva bhajami ham mama vart madhuvartante manushaparta sarvasha. According to the degree of surrender, Krishna reciprocates with the devotee. So no matter how much we give to Krishna, how much we want to connect to Krishna, to know Krishna, to serve Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate with us. But to the degree that we hold back, then Krishna's holding back himself. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that Savai pumsam parodharmo yato bhaktir hokshaje haituki pratihata yatma suprasidati. Only devotional service, which is unmotivated and unceasing, that never stops. This kind of devotional service unto the Supreme Lord can the soul become yatma suprasidati, completely satisfied. So there's no way that we can. You're chanting? Or are you listening? The only way that we can become fully satisfied is by fully giving ourselves to Krishna. And as the devotee fully gives himself to Krishna, he becomes conquered by the devotee's love in one sense. There's this pastime with Mother Yashoda where Krishna is being tied up by ropes. I told you about this before, I think, but we celebrate this in the month of Kartik, which is generally in October. Krishna is being bound up by ropes because he was being naughty and stealing butter and breaking the butter pots. And she's running and trying to catch him. And he's running in fear from his mother, just like an ordinary boy. She's chasing him. He's running. Ah! And then she catches him and she gets a rope and I'm going to tie you up. She puts the rope around him, let's tie it, and it's 2 fingers too short, just barely short. So she gets more rope and she ties it to the rope and she ties it again and again, still too short. So she gets all the rope from like the neighbors and everybody and tries to tie him up. It's too short, but only because Krishna, he saw her sincere effort to try to, tie him up, to catch him, through her motherly love of wanting to, teach him a lesson, allowed himself to be caught and tied up. So the point is that so many yogis are trying to approach the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or mental speculators. But by whatever means we're doing, it's out of our control. We can't, grip our hands around the infinite. Krishna's supremely infinite in all opulences, infinite in everything. But you can act in a way where Krishna allows himself to actually be caught and bound up. So the only way to do this is through love and devotion. Love and devotion that doesn't want anything in return. Prahlad Maharaj, when Lord Nrsimha was offering him a benediction, Lord Nrsimhadev, he killed Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj's father, and he ripped out his intestines, and it was really gruesome scene. And then he was sitting there, and he was like so angry, just like Shishi Gornatai Ki Jai. Then all the demigods who were there, they were trying to pacify the Lord, who took on this fearsome, like angry form, and none of them could pacify him. And they even were trying to take Lakshmi, the Lord's eternal consort. Please go pacify, the Lord, your husband. And she's like, I never seen him this angry before. This is a whole nother level. So everybody was bewildered. Nobody knew how to approach him. So then they tried to get Prahlad, because they're like, Prahlad, you're the reason why he came. So you go calm him down. And Prahlad took a garland and offered it to the Lord. And that's what we see in the picture. He's offering a garland. But afterwards, the Lord became pacified, and he wanted to grant a benediction to Prahlad, because it's only natural, somebody's doing so much to please you, to go out of your way to serve you. You want to give them something in return. So Lord Nrsimhadev said, please ask me any benediction. And Prahlad Maharaj answered, it's very significant. He said, I don't want anything in return. I'm not a merchant. I'm not worshiping you for a business deal. We go out in the world, we give money, and we expect something in return. Always. And nobody does anything selflessly, because you always think, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? What do I get out of it? Prahlad was saying, I don't want anything. I just want to serve you. And then Lord Nrsimhadev kept insisting, and I want to give you a benediction. He said, okay, please just, let me never forget you. Let me always remember you. And Lord Nrsimhadev is pleased, but he's like, still insisted, I want to give you a benediction. And then ultimately Prahlad, he said, please forgive my father. His father, who tried to kill him, who threw him off a cliff, who threw him in a pot of boiling ghee, threw him in a cave full of snakes, threw him on a pile of debris that was set on fire. He tried to kill him in so many ways, poison. Due to his constant remembrance of the Supreme Lord, he was protected. And when the Lord asked for this benediction, he had to be pushed and pushed and pushed. And still, he didn't want anything for himself. He wanted his dad, who tried to kill him, to become forgiven and become liberated. So this is mercy. And I mean, this kind of mercy from a devotee, it's only coming through the Supreme Lord, because the Supreme Lord is the most merciful. But then in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada says that the devotee is even more merciful than the Lord, because the devotee knows the fallen condition of all the living entities. So it's like this reciprocating mercy that's always coming down. And if one plugs into that, then there's always a torrential downpour of mercy, which we sing in the morning in the Guruvastakam and Mangalarti, this samsara davanal alalita loka. This means we're stuck in the samsara cycle of birth and death in the material world, the burning forest fire of samsara. And then we need the downpour coming from the spiritual master to free us from this forest fire we're stuck in. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a forest fire, but if you go get like a bucket of water, it's not going to do much. Even if you get a hose, it's not going to do much. I've seen videos, they take like helicopters and they scoop like, hundreds of gallons of water, take it there. Still doesn't do so much. What they need is actual rain. So the rain is beyond us, it's beyond our control. Similarly, this mercy is beyond us, and we need that mercy. Because the more we continue on the path of devotional service and we're not dependent upon the mercy, we'll run into difficulties. So many difficulties. Something I like to highlight, we come and we're brand new and we don't know anything. We don't know anything at all. What are these words that I'm singing? Why are we doing like this? Why are we doing like that? Then you start to figure it out. You start to learn it. And then all of a sudden, like this whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness, I think like I know. I act like I know. Just a few years ago, I didn't know anything. Only because of Prabhupada do I know anything at all. So the more we can be constantly cognizant of the fact that I'm just the recipient of the mercy, and my duty is to share that mercy with others in whatever form that I can, and continue, begging and acting in a way to bring the Lord's mercy. This is the only way we can continue and make advancement. Because if we think that we're doing something and we're doing it by our own strength, our own intelligence, any of our own qualities, then this is just illusion, because whatever we're having is coming from the Lord. So we always have to look for this mercy and pray. And that's what this Maha Mantra is all about, calling out for the Lord's mercy. What did Prabhupada say? It's like a baby crying out for its mother. I mean, that's a really simple point that we hear many times, but how deep it can be. When we're chanting, are we thinking, okay, I'm chanting, okay, 1 round, 2 rounds, okay, 5 rounds, I got this many left, okay, I just got to keep finishing, I got to get done. Are we just chanting and letting our mind wander and think about this, think about that, think about so many other things, and we're chanting just for the name of chanting, but really our mind's not meditating on what we're doing, but meditating on so many different points. Chanting is the essence. It seems like we chant to get some place, to get some result, to get me to the destination. But what if I told you the destination is actually chanting, but you're just not aware of it? There's a story I like to share. I'm sure I've said it before, but there once was a person in a village, and he's living outside the kingdom. And he's like a simple farmer, and he hears everybody talking about gold, 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 gold. And he's like, what's gold? I don't even know what gold is. He's never seen gold. So they tell him, go to the king's palace and knock on the door, and he'll show you gold. So he goes knocking on the door. My dear king, please, I want to see gold. And he says, oh, sure, I'll show you. So he walks them inside, and they go up this long stairwell, and then they go up, and then there's a big hallway, and then they go down the hallway, and then they get to this door, and they open the door, and he sees all the gold he can ever see. But when he sees the gold, you know what he realized? The door he knocked on was actually made out of gold. The rails in the stairway were made out of gold. All the paintings and everything in the hallway are all like covered with gold. But he never saw gold, so he couldn't understand until he realized what it was. So similarly, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is like this gold. We're given it, and we're told it's great, but we have no realization. So then we might have this feeling of, okay, I'm just going to do this until I get to this point, where I don't have to do this anymore, or I'll become fixed up, I'll become strong, whatever it may be. But actually, the nectar is in the name. when we do kirtan, we have all these musical instruments. It's not necessary. The transcendental holy name is fully potent. It's like all the musical instruments are just to help us get more into it. But if one really gets a taste for the holy name, then your taste increases and increases and increases, because the holy name is endless, the potency that's there, and you can always tune into it. But due to committing offenses, namaparad, it withdraws our taste from chanting the holy name. This is the only reason. So if we're chanting Hare Krishna and we've been chanting for some time, over just even like a few weeks or something, and we're not getting an increasing taste for the name, then we have to see that we're just committing offenses to the holy name. And these offenses can be very gross, or they can be very subtle, but offenses are there. Otherwise, the purification process becomes very rapid. And as one's purified, it becomes very joyous and blissful. So to know these offenses against the holy name and guard against them are of the utmost importance. It's said that the mother of all offenses is inattentive chanting. Chanting Hare Krishna, but really, I'm looking over there and thinking about, this person who's eating a cheeseburger, or I'm looking over there and thinking about, some other kind of nonsense. Or like, last night it was a little difficult. You're at this art show, then you look over there and you see this thing, and your mind travels in like 50 different directions at once, because there's so many different paintings and so many designs. It's okay, Arjuna, he asked Krishna about controlling the mind, and Krishna said, I forget the Sanskrit, but due to the flickering and unsteady nature of the mind, it's very difficult to control the mind, but when the mind wanders away, you must bring it back. So to even become aware of when our mind is present and when our mind wanders, this takes focus. And if we're not aware of that, then we have to, that's the starting point. When I'm chanting, I'm actually chanting and I'm trying to hear. But if you're chanting and your mind's just wandering and wandering, you can let it become a habit where you're chanting and your mind's just always wandering. And you think that's what normal is. But normal is to be focused and present and attentive on what we're doing, the task at hand. So that's why the temple is a very favorable atmosphere for this. We have Sri Sri Gauranatai, we have Prabhupada, trying to cultivate, a nice Shuddha Sattva, sattvic, transcendental atmosphere. Whereas, last night we're doing kirtan at the show, and I'm sure, everybody saw different things that stimulated their mind in different ways. So it's very nice to perform devotional service in such atmospheres, because you get to take the mercy out to people who aren't aware of it. Otherwise, how would they ever know? But then also, many doubts may come in our mind. Oh man, these people are just hanging out and having fun. They don't have to go back early and wake up early and do the whole same thing over and over and over. Can't we just let loose and hang out like these people? I mean, it's natural that these thoughts may arise, because these people look like they're having fun. It's like a big spectacle. But we need to always be aware of the position in the material world. I mean, I was thinking about this point earlier, and I was reflecting on those type of situations. People go out and there's so much uncertainty. Like, what are we going to do tonight? Where's the fun going to be? You're sitting around thinking about this, waiting on this person, doing this, and you end up just like doing some kind of intoxication and make like stupid jokes just to pass time by. Nothing actual, like substantial. Literally just there's time and you don't know what to do with it. So you do some kind of thing to feel away and then make some silly jokes, and then time goes by. And often you create your own problems, which create like some kind of sense of enjoyment for you, because you need something to do rather than seeing above our problems and focusing on the supreme problem, people get stuck in this world. So I was thinking how fortunate we are to have the opportunity to, wake up first thing in the morning and come to Mangal Arti every day and chant Hare Krishna. Because otherwise, how can one be regulated? How can one be regulated? And if somebody's not regulated, how can one be happy? Because there's so much ups and downs, so much imbalances, so much things just constantly swishing around in your life. I guess some people are regulated and they go to work during the week, and then the weekend it's time to let loose. That's why these things happen on Friday, Saturday. But a devotee doesn't have the concept of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day is just devotional service. Every day is the same. And if we can plug into that, then it's amazing, because you're not bound by the whole society that's designed to bring you down and make you a consumer, make you just lost in the material energy, quite literally driven by the modes of passion and ignorance. So the more we continue on this path and really try our best to attend the programs, to chant and hear sincerely, to read and study the books, to associate with the devotees, and we become increasingly aware of, what great opportunity we've been given by Srila Prabhupada. Without Srila Prabhupada, we'd be lost. I don't know what's going on, but I assume it's 8:30. Does anybody have any other final comments or questions or thoughts? Yes.
Do they chant Hare Krishna in the spiritual world?
Hare Krishna. I mean, to one extent, yes, but to one extent, the gopis, Vrindavan, they're always wrapped in remembering Krishna and singing bhajans of Krishna and always thinking of Krishna. All the residents of Vrindavan Dham. So they might not be chanting Hare Krishna as we know it, but yeah, they're all chanting Krishna's glories all the time. Krishna's with them. They're playing with Krishna. They're enjoying with Krishna. Krishna leaves. They're like sad. They're thinking about Krishna. They're making songs about Krishna. It's all remembering Krishna, focused on Krishna. And when one remembers Krishna, one becomes blissful, even though we may see people in the spiritual world and they, from our point of view, it seems like they're not blissful, like they're totally distressed, they're totally facing problems. So that's what the Nectar of Devotion is describing, all these different feelings and states that one can have, but showing it in relation to Krishna so that it can always be completely blissful. I mean, it said that love and separation is greater than when like the lover's actually present. So Lord Chaitanya was coming to teach us this, is that to feel the separation from Krishna is actually more potent than being with Krishna. But to feel separation from Krishna, you got to approach Krishna, and then Krishna gives you a taste, and the more you get a taste, the more you're hankering for that taste, and the more you're feeling the separation, the separation actually draws you closer. Not that just like, oh, I'm a materialist and I'm separated from Krishna, I love God like anything. No, it's like you get this taste and you'll be hankering. Okay, so we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai. Vancha Kapatarubhya.